On this episode of TFL Truck, we're gonna figure out if this, the brand new Ford Maverick, is actually the most efficient pickup ever in the real world.
That's right, we're gonna run one of our patented TFL MPG loops. We've got a job to do way up north in Colorado. And Andre, I'm gonna make a bet. I bet I can double your MPG in this Ford Maverick compared to you in that Ram 1500.
Well, I have the Hemi e-torque,
right.
Traditional power, big half-ton, full-size truck. You're saying you can double my fuel efficiency?
Oh yes, I'm the EV guy here at TFL, and I'm convinced I can get this thing to do over 40 MPG, which I think will be double what you get in the Ram.
All right, so what are we betting?
I bet you a loaded baked potato. I think we fill them both up with the 2-click method, head on up to Fort Collins, and then head on back down and see which one does better.
All right, you're on. We're gonna do everything as scientifically as possible. I'm using 87 octane because that's what the Ram requires as a minimum. So let's see what it does. You know, Tommy, fuel is getting very expensive these days, so this test is particularly important right now.
Absolutely, Andre, and you may be thinking, oh, why are we doing this small truck versus big truck? I really just want to use the big truck, the Ram, as a benchmark to make sure that our fuel economy tests are pretty spot on with like the EPA ratings. So we're going to see what those are relative to each vehicle. And I'm also curious, can I double the MPG of a full-size truck and still have more payload than the Ram? Because I do.
What? No.
So I just cleared the trip. You can see the Ford thinks we can do 551 miles till empty, which is pretty amazing. I'm going to go ahead and engage the Eco Drive mode and then just drive it like a normal pickup.
All right, let's verify that I am all filled up. Yes, the gauge is really full. I'm gonna once again reset my trip meter. And I don't have any special eco mode. This truck is smart enough by itself, and when I'm driving gently, we're driving normally today, it should have that little eco indicator. So when I'm not asking for a lot of power, this truck should be the most efficient.
This video was made possible by our friends at Manscaped. Christmas comes early when you get the new Performance Package from Manscaped.com. The new Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof and it has replaceable ceramic blades. It's also got an LED headlight and wireless charging. And the Performance Pack 4.0 bundle gets you stocking stuffers like ball deodorant and ball toner to sweeten the deal. All the while, this Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer takes care of any mess above the collar. For a limited time, you'll also get 2 free gifts because it 'tis the season, a Shed travel bag, and the anti-chafing pair of boxer briefs come free when you order with our promo code. To get the gift that keeps on giving, try the Peak Hygiene plan so you never run out. Don't wait, go to manscaped.com and use the promo code FASTLANETRUCK to get 20% off plus free international shipping plus 2 free gifts. I think you know what presents you need under your tree this holiday.
All right, Andre, on the road. So we have over 50 miles to drive up to Fort Collins, Colorado from Boulder. What do you think? Can I double your MPG in the Ford Maverick?
Well, we'll be doing a lot of highway. Your hybrid is not great on the highway. Well, it still does 33 according to the government. My Ram 1500 4-wheel drive with e-torque is rated at 22 on the highway, so I doubt you're gonna double me.
You know, Andre, the numbers that the EPA gives this truck are one thing, but after driving this vehicle around for the last week or so, I've been seeing numbers upwards of 40 pretty consistently, at least on the little meter. So we're gonna see what that returns to in the real world going off of the pump. The other thing too, Andre, is I think you double my price, isn't that correct?
Yeah, there's a lot of kind of doubling going on here. The Ram 1500 Hemi is rated at 395 horsepower, which is more than double your power. You have 191. And also the price. This Ram 4-wheel drive Backcountry Edition is retailing or MSRP of just over $56,000.
And this is the Maverick XLT with a couple options. We're right around 27 grand, of course. This thing starts at 20. It's the most affordable hybrid on the market. It's the most affordable pickup on the market, period. Really excited to see. I'm really rooting for the little guy. Hopefully we can see numbers in excess of 40. Now we've only driven 1 mile. It's all been uphill and I'm returning 31. So I better make that a little better if I have any chance of not owing you a baked potato.
So while I do not have a special eco mode, which is a special like software drive mode, I do have a lot of other aids to help this truck get good efficiency. First of all, the engine, the 5.7 liter V8 has MDS, multi-displacement system. Basically, it's able to shut down half of its cylinders under light load and run in 4-cylinder mode. It also has active aerodynamics, so the front chin spoiler can actually come down at higher speed. I also have e-torque, which gives me auto start stop at traffic lights. Also gives me a little tiny boost. It's a mild hybrid system. I have a tiny battery, which is about 0.4 kilowatt hour. So it's under a half of a kilowatt hour.
This Maverick, I think, is one of the most important entrants into the pickup market in years, because it's a return to not only smaller trucks, but affordable trucks. With a starting price of $20,000, this genuinely is the cheapest hybrid you can buy. It's also the cheapest pickup you can buy. A lot of firsts going on here. So what are we looking at? Well, we're looking at a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder mated to an electric hybrid system. It's got a 1.1 kilowatt hour battery. Total system output is 191 horsepower. Now, if you want the hybrid, it's front wheel drive only. However, this thing does have some impressive numbers, like a payload of nearly 1,500 pounds. So yes, it may not be body on frame, yes, it's not dimensionally similar to that Ram 1500, but in my opinion, it still is a real pickup. It has a 4.5-foot bed, and I think that's useful for a lot of folks. Andre accelerating hard to get out in front of this big truck. I'm accelerating kind of hard too, but don't want to ruin my fuel efficiency run here. The power output is surprisingly decent in this truck. On paper, only 191 horsepower, but we are at altitude, and typically naturally aspirated trucks really struggle up here. This, of course, is a naturally aspirated truck, but the electrical system, the hybrid system, really helps out with power delivery, especially at low speeds. This thing has a lot of zip off the line. It isn't all candy and roses inside the Maverick. This infotainment system, this 8-inch screen, has seriously been one of the most glitchy I have ever experienced in a new car ever. It is pretty inexcusable on how it's been functioning over the last couple of weeks. You go to change radio station, half the time it doesn't, half the time it gets stuck on the previous radio station that you were just at. Then you have to stop, turn the truck off, there you go. It finally just changed the preset. It gets stuck often. It's so incredibly buggy. I hope that maybe this is like an early production truck and they figure it out on some of the later production trucks. So I gotta pass Andre here. Because of course we need to take turns on who is leading so that there's not an aerodynamic advantage for one of the trucks.
Look at that mighty Ford.
Aerodynamic efficiency for one of the trucks, but of course we're not drafting, and I'm not sure the Ram could draft much on the Maverick anyways. 25-mile update, Andre. How are you looking in the Ram? What's the truck saying?
Well, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. My trip meter is currently reading 22.6, and it's been about 33 minutes to go almost 26 miles.
Not bad. The Ford, a little better than that, it's averaging 54.1.
Unbelievable. I mean, we need to check it at the pump, obviously.
Yeah, it's just a little unbelievable. Now, we've been driving on these kind of country roads, 55, 60 miles an hour, and that's because the main highways are all clogged up, I think. Trucks saying between 53 and 54. MPG, it's kind of oscillating, but it gets a little optimistic. We'll definitely need to check it at the pump when we're all done. Andre, 54.3 miles driven. We had a little bit of city driving, but it was mostly country roads, and then some bigger roads, but you know, 55, 60 miles an hour kind of thing.
Yeah, it was actually a very comfortable drive, and we got to compare notes before we tackle a couple of the tasks at the ranch.
So the plan is that we're going to go film another video, which you can go check out over at the Fastlane Truck. We're going to do a payload test and a real-world ranch challenge on the Maverick and the Ram, but we're not going to fill up until we're back down into Boulder. So we're going to have all of the driving today, plus a little bit of ranch work, plus all of the driving this afternoon into the evening, and then we'll get the final numbers. Alright, so the Ford says we averaged 54.9 MPG after driving 55.3 miles, and even cooler than that, it says we've driven 27.3 miles on all electric. So of the 55 miles, 27 we only use electricity, which is pretty good for a car that has no plug in it.
So wait, are you telling me that you used 1 gallon to get here from Boulder? 1 gallon?
Yeah, so if that's right, Andre is correct. We used exactly 1 gallon to get here.
That cannot be right. No.
$3, baby.
Well, Tommy, read it and weep. 22.7 MPG, and I'm showing 55 miles. Well, actually, that's good because the EPA says 22 on the highway, so the trip meter is in that neighborhood. I'm pretty happy. Well, Tommy, that was an epic video we did with the Maverick and the Payload.
Yeah, if you want to check that out, be sure to head over to tfltruck.com, but it was really, really cool. We loaded this thing up to the gills, and I don't think we affected our MPG loop that much because they both drove the exact same path to get to the payload test area, and then of course when you're coming down the mountain, the truck was just regenning, so we weren't burning any extra payload hauling those logs. But I think it's time we head on back after a day of ranch work in between the two trucks. Now, the Maverick says I'm now averaging 43.1 MPG, and we drove, I don't know, 4 miles on the ranch today, so not a huge amount of distance. And I think on the way back, that's probably going to shoot right back up.
Well, it is still impressive, Tommy. I cannot believe that. My trip meter says 18.9. And I wasn't idling too much, but like you said, we did about 4 to 5 miles here on the ranch and also a little bit of off-roading. So now finally let's get back on the highway and finish the loop.
Wow, okay, that was quite the drive, and clearly it is now dark, but we are about to pull back into the same gas station we filled up at, and we will use the same exact pump.
10-4, good buddy. Yeah, I mean, it's been a really good day, but it is winter time, so it gets dark early.
Yeah, but luckily it isn't too cold. My car, or my truck I should say, sorry, get that confused sometimes, the Maverick is currently showing 50 degrees Fahrenheit, so it was actually a pretty warm day, and we hit up into the mid-60s.
Yeah, so not very windy either, so I think conditions were almost ideal. And I'll share with you in a second what my truck says. My trip meter says 20.4 MPG, 20.4.
20.4, got it. Mine is quite a bit more optimistic. 48.3, that is 48.3.
Now that is crazy. And what else is crazy, there's a big tanker here, but I think I can squeeze through.
48.3 in a pickup truck. Wow, if that is real, that is pretty unbelievable actually.
All right, dude, so let's, same pump. So how many miles did you have on your truck?
114.
Please don't show my credit cards, okay?
All right.
All right, dude, so let's find out once and for all how we did.
So you are trying to go for what, 20?
Well, the truck says 20.3.
And what's the combined EPA rating?
19.
All right.
And the bet was that you would be twice more efficient than I am.
Yes.
Which is possible according to your trip meter.
We'll see.
Okay, 30-second top off, right?
30 seconds.
Look at the pricing, dude.
I know, gas is getting so expensive.
Yeah.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull the trigger. Bam.
Ooh. Bam, right there, 5.573.
So, 114 miles divided by 5.573.
Ooh, actually, so that's 20.5 basically, if you round up, which is almost identical to what the truck said, which is actually pretty good for combined fuel efficiency.
And more importantly for today, it's one better than your combined rating,
yes.
right? So
yes.
If the math plays out, the Maverick should do one better as well, which would be 38.
which would not double mine.
Which would not double yours, but the truck is saying 48, so we better see some magic happen.
Yes.
If I am to win this loaded potato.
Okay.
So we have to use under, what, 2.7 gallons?
Yeah.
For me to double it?
Yeah, and well, I mean, you might be able to do it, but I still have to buy you a potato, I guess.
Ooh, it's gonna be tight.
Whoa! Once again, 30 seconds we have to wait. But dude, you are doing well, my friend.
Dude, 2.2 gallons to drive 114 miles. Let's see what the final number is.
That's absurd.
And 30 seconds. Oh no!
Oh, that was a big one.
That was a big one.
Oh no! 2.79.
All right. So let's see. It's gonna be close, Andre.
Dude, that'll be... So save that. Oh, okay, never mind.
114 divided by 2.792, 40.8. So you were 20.45.
Yes.
So what's that?
Divided by 2.
Oh no!
I did. Well, I won because 4145.
Oh.
Okay, that's close. That's close enough. By the way, the potato place is closed.
Yeah, they actually shut down forever. But still, 40 MPG on the Maverick. It's amazing.
Well, 41 almost.
41, yeah. But it is worth noting, it's about 7 MPG worse than what the computer is saying. Because it's saying I'm doing 48.3.
Yeah, you know what? When I tested my F-150 hybrid, it was also saying kind of high numbers, and in reality it was lower. But still, no matter what it said, 41 is incredible.
So I'm this close to doubling Andre, but I owe him a potato by like just, what, under half a mile per gallon.
No, like 0.03 of a gallon.
Yeah. Pretty amazing though,
Yeah.
guys. Let us know what you think in the comment section below, and as always, this has been Tommy.
And Andre.
We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.